One for you, one for me, and one for
JohnFinitee.
Those eyes.
Lick your lips.
Pik N Mixed.
Get your hits.
Pik N Mixed.
Raspberry Ritz.
Pik N Mixed.
Reggie Mix.
Pik N Mixed.
Ah.
Roses walk the red carpet and violets sing the blues. If you skip over my poetry, showing no patience, the daisies will be pushed up by you. Oh, I'm kidding. Okay, but hopefully now I have your full attention. Yeah, I've plucked the necessary plants from the dirt for this invention. I'm dispatching mad matcha to patch up self-hatred. So come take some sips. Okay. To all the anti-natural hair airheads, I'm putting index fingers to lips. Shh. To the natural hair heroes, keep your heads up, soldiers. Grow those dandelion manes out. Don't listen to bitter root odors. Don't listen. If locks will be the key to your place of happiness, then open that window of opportunity, Mr. Smith. That's not my name. Feel free to form freeforms or partake in a tryst with twists if you insist. So many fly styles to choose, so roll or stitch whichever one you vibe with. To the natural hair heroines, you already know what's up. Seeing you ladies radiantly rock your puffs is powerful like buttercup. It's truly a sensational sight for weary eyes to behold. Facts. We marvel at your magic as if a jewel flower married gold. It never gets old, never. Beautiful strong hair with flair is what the world witnesses with jealousy. That's why you're browbeaten with frowns from every petulant pansies. They'd probably combined against these rhymes and call me a Pik Me. Too bad I burn with a passion that can warm greenhouses. They can't absorb this energy. Don't let the drowsy brain clowns drown you in their salty tear showers. Stay strong like oak and soak them up and stand tall in vibrancy like sunflowers. And to those who wear wigs and weaves that might want to come for me, just breathe, man. Don't be sour. Facts. Do whatever you want. I ain't mad. I just think your own homegrown garden is a real superpower.
They are called pot cakes. They get their name from the food they most commonly eat, the remains from the pots of rice and peas that is a traditional and popular meal among native islanders, who eat the top layers of the dish, but not the congealed, glutinous bottom layers, which are thrown out and consumed by the wild dogs that overrun the islands. It's a whimsical name, but the pot cakes are not a problem to be treated lightly.
I'm a mixed breed concoction of a Jamaican pot cake and an Irish wolfhound. One of a kind you won't find at any shelter or pound. A good boy, I'm not feral, so I pray poachers stay put to avoid getting put down. Life happens fast for bad breeds, so try to behave or a Bobby's baton long like a cane might connect with your core so hard you'll stay sore. You know the game. It's overplayed, it doesn't pay, and in the end, you lose no matter the score. Picture ops with chocolate chips on their shoulders, grabbing gold from your den. Now you're on smoke like a reaver to retrieve your loot and get your get back, times by 10. Back and forth, dogfights rage on over war-won wages that are really quite meagre. From pups, they dream of M's without a proper path forward, leaving poor youths eager. This place is a nightmare and only gets scarier. Might bulldoze through the border and become an American terrier. What's one more stray in the States? I say the more the merrier. The mindset of a man who doesn't have jack, rustling together whatever is edible, can survive anywhere. Despairing for more than the bare minimum, but Lady Luck leaves me to rot while her favourites prosper. I'm always in the ballpark getting closer to my goals, but miss the mark like I hit the crossbar. I don't know why, but this inner light shines bright. Like the sun, I've brung enough heat to leave you hazy and in a daze. My voice gets husky when I howl for too long, but what shines through the bass sets your soul ablaze and glowing like a full moon phase. My lady has class like the Queen of Sheba. I knew she was the one from the very first sighting. Anyone who tries to box her in better square up in the ring and get ready to swing, cause we're fighting. I'll always be cavalier and show no fear to those who dart disdain to the people I hold dear. Not a King Charles, I got a good head on my shoulders, just making sure you were lending an ear, so I made my point clear. Royalty in rhyming is what I strive to be. It's my birthright to write until the very end. Royalty towards those who really know me. I can be a man's best friend. Forget the nines, I'm like a K10. I'm a whole different breed that you'll never find again. Whoa, these noble notions have got me feeling quite regal. Though bitten twice and thrice shy, I sniff out the lion sly foxes like a beagle. So let's keep it real. We don't need greyhounds or other cocktails. We can stay sober, man. We can focus on our craft, creating some hocus pocus, making bread with a dough bar, man. I don't usually sniff my own backside like this, but the story of my life is being left on the shelf. A mix of two sides gives you smaller hideouts to reside, so with all the troubles and strife, you might as well like yourself. This great Danish poetry I bake like pastries is based on different types of cherry oaks. To those from not around here, that's Cockney rhyme for the boy can't help but bark his bars like he's hanging out the window of a car or trying to whip it with mad vim. He just came back from the vet, by the way, and the x-ray showed he's indeed got that dog in him.
The Western United States, for example, has seen larger fires in each of the last several years and more intense burning, and many times those fires spread faster, making them more difficult to put out and more dangerous for the communities who live in that vicinity.
This poem is made for Disstract Seasoned. Don't question why, I don't need a reason. It's about to get hot, it's about to get spicy. The way I cut up these squares, it's gonna get dicey. Forget your little sizzle, I'm bringing the big heat. Making the fish them salty, like Simi cooked them in Aki. Forget your mushy pea shorter. I got the jalapeno heckler held in the holster. Firing Scotch bonnets at your grill if you take a step closer. If you come to the cookout, we're hot-headed and flavorous. Dishing out this hot pot potting, you can't savour us. I see the audacity of thee trying to pick sides against me. Sitting on the fence mid-duel, I get you poked at and spun like rotisserie meat. You better pick a side, so flip that coin. I call heads cause that's what I aim for. I pocket their souls for my collection while they run with their tails between their Jordan 4s. Catching these hot hands is like choosing fire over the frying pan. Stop, drop and roll before you get a permanent tan. You can run to Carolina, but these rhymes will still reap you. You tried to stir the pot, now you'll get smoked like barbecue. The master chef will give you a 7-pod pummeling. I got swollen tongue tarts, tripping over words and mumbling. If you can't take this heat, then get out of my kitchen. I can see you crumbling. Treading on hard-headed fools like a hot coal stepper. Are you all tinker dread? Then let me grab the pepper. Consider this hit piece a shadow box session. My doubters live in mine and they never learn their lesson. People treat lyrical war like a sport, and to a degree I agree with what they're saying. But last time I checked, you don't see athletes putting body bags for playing. The words clearly hurt and tension escalates further as the messy media buzz starts to sting. It's not so black and white, and deep down you sense something ain't right, like a yang with no yin. Sports have umpires and referees, so tell me, who's moderating this when it's words too foul that combatants verbally fling? Can the apparatus of the art form not be improved? Winners in sport get trophies, medals, belts. At least give a crown to those you call king. Don't get it twisted, I could cast combat characters onto tree skin like scars until my hand turns blue. But I'll leave that to the talented battle bar bros who elevate the pen. I'll continue whatever purpose on this earth that I'm supposed to pursue. Sick of the pathologies plaguing my people. Violence is viral between the mentally vagrant, their hearts vacant like unworn shoes. Everyone is suffering. Cancer causes more damage than these gangsters distilling that hate-filled brew. So why the should anyone care about the beef that they stew? Time is too terminal to mince words for the tender. The 11th hour is at hand, like the watch says 1:45. Of course, healthy competition is fine amongst the verbally inclined in the community. But to finish this discourse, don't let Disstract Seasoned distract us from creating unity.
Some other good news, great news, that kind of means that spring is on the way, the warm weather is on the way. We all love water fire. Yes. But did you know
fire signs are built to move energy. And they have this incredible gift that if they move energy, they make more energy. They're introverted, but all that fire turns in, and it can become, at best, creativity.
Aquamarine is one of the most popular gemstones in the world. It is renowned for its crystal clarity. In almost every culture, the gemstone is closely tied with the sea and is often hailed as the sailor's gem, and is used as a talisman to bring sailors good luck as well as safe and a prosperous journey.
The John of old could never have foretold this to be my destiny or my kind of scene. Though retrospectively, I should have seen it coming since I'm a fire sign aquamarine. Speaking of fire, the pyre of deadwood that surrounds me might set ablaze. I leave the whole area in ashes wherever I transpire, so proceed with caution when you feel the heat rays. Run in rings around these schemes as my slow burn flow melts the frost off folks. The sheer volume can nick the insurance in those who thought they wanted this smoke. This poet is lit, but listeners might spontaneously combust, so I'll turn it down to a little simmer. Some days self-doubt tries to drown me out, but my buoyant soul surfaces like a good swimmer. My objective for this oral operation is to make waves before the ship sails out to sea. A style you can sit in to put your mind at ease, like bubble baths or water therapy. Packing super soaker synonyms to send suckers' egos to a watery grave. Waterfall from grace that could await, so sit down to save face and behave. I've built with bricks since I debuted on earth. All that was missing was some cement. It took me embracing my poetic birth to see that JohnFinitee put the 2 E's in my element.
Proverbs chapter 18.
The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly.
It was a cool afternoon in the middle of June. There were 2 ladies separated by a gate painted maroon. One was named Stacy, the other named Tracy. Both could shoot the breeze for hours, like Casey. They became friends because their names sounded the same, yapping about plain Janes or events that were mundane. The 2 often talked through that gate after work while their kids played together before nighttime lurked. One day, Tracy parlayed about the shop around the corner from where they stay. She said, "You won't believe the way that old man talked to my son outside that place while only trying to play." Stacy said, "That waste of space? What happened this time? What did he say?" He said, "You better grab that little brat and go the hell away." Stacy said, "Oh my days." And then Tracy said she grabbed the kid and got home by 10. He acts all high and mighty, but the grapevine told me he likes to hold on to his purse quite tightly. Apparently, his mum needs surgery for a disc, which he hasn't financially backed her on even slightly. Both paused the jaw off for a moment as Tracy spoke to her son with a sigh. "Stop humming so loudly. Mummy's trying to have a convo, alright?" He stopped for a brief moment hearing his tired mother's plight, but when he continued to hum, his mum said, "Fine, Your dinner plate tonight will look very light. You'll be lucky if you even get a bite. Anyway, as I was saying, she continued, I saw that dirty slut leave the shop in my rear view. She must be supplying that guy with lies about my boy. Once I caught her luring him away with a toy. Wow, I would have been more than annoyed. And then, Tracy said she grabbed the kid and got home by 10. My co-worker lives on the same street as her and tells me they see strange incidents occur. About 7 runts run around in that house and a rough-looking man was heard with an accent that sounded Scouse. Noon began to loom, so Tracy cut the ongoing convo right then and there, telling Stacy while leaving, with the people in this neighborhood, you gotta stay aware. A new day dawned, but around the evening when the two usually talked, Stacy couldn't get a hold of Tracy, so she thought, her car is parked here, did she decide to walk? Stacy entered her own residence to watch some TV when she heard Tracy's name in the local station report. Dun 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 dun. Breaking news. Abusive mother Tracy Tate has been arrested and will be waiting for her day in court to come. She has been charged with neglecting her 7-year-old son, Terry Dover, who will be under police protection until this case is done. The suspect would allegedly send Terry to steal from their local corner shop. His identity was confirmed by those who know him, saying he hums non-stop. These frequent incidents were witnessed by Mary Malone, who runs a daycare service straight from her home. Mary gave our correspondent a private interview. She told our correspondent, I didn't know what else to do. I tried talking to Terry. I tried to grab his attention with a Hot Wheels car. I even asked the shopkeeper to help, but our attempts failed thus far. Terry reminds me of the brother I grew up with in foster care. He was adopted by a lady in Liverpool, while I remained here. Mary reunited with her brother, who asked to remain nameless throughout. They decided to run their own foster care home to help helpless children out. Terry is autistic and loves humming his favourite song whenever and wherever he plays. Teachers say there was a notable difference in his frame, with doctors confirming malnutrition, his mother not feeding him for days. The suspect is described as combative and known to spread numerous rumours around. Mary, her brother and the shopkeeper are among many victims of her behaviour around town. The victim who suffered most at her hands is 7-year-old Terry Dover, who continues his recovery and must find a new home when this case is over. John Doe, 7 o'clock news. Onto the sport as local team lose, click. And then the channel was switched over by Stacy, who was left staring at an ad for Land Rovers. Frozen in time as chills all over declined down her spine, falling into the chair behind as she attempted to unwind. She couldn't quite find any kind of peace in her mind. And then the cops came knocking on her door with inquiries for the friend that Fiend adored. And then Tracy was sentenced to 5 years in jail, while Terry was adopted by Mary, who grew a bond strong like chainmail. And then the shopkeeper's sales began to boom in support due to all the news coverage, one can assume. And then that was that. And then, the end.
And we're going to be talking about CVs, resumes.
You do want to stand out, right? So coming up, we're going to have some tips for you that you're going to want to hear, especially if you're hoping to land that next job.
Convert me to CV. I know I'm not the only one seeing the vicious cycle of the CV. The steady decay of curriculum vitae is why its purpose escapes me. You can't land a job without gaining XP, but the XP is gained by landing the job. Seems like a possible solution to this problem is the yellow vest mob. Excuse my French as we cut through this foul stench with fencing the length of a lance. What a bother. No other choice but to construct a body of work that'll give a bum a chance. Let's start with a pair of arms armed with dexterity, able to weld together works of varying complexity. Shoulders broad enough to bear the brunt of critical feedback. Correctional reckonings are taken into account and added to the stack. Legs that stay steadfast on the regular, remaining on the path paved by the Lord. Delivering dreams to my future self's esteemed door for costs he can afford. Special delivery. Eyes fixated on the prize and optimized to dilate when detecting small details. A self-aware security system prevents character attacks. They fail to prevail. A smile that skyrockets sales and assists the missions I mastermind. Usually used to manage the damage done by my mean molded mug with an unwinding, reminding rewind. A lifetime pipeline of experience gained in hostile environments that broke weaker souls. I took the pain gained by hardship and turned it into an internal internship, learning how to keep rolling regardless of potholes. How was that? Surely a convincing home run for those stuck-up bats. Time zones out in my man cave while studying the post-game stats. Rats. The automated email regales how I didn't land that damn job. Frustrated. They're taking the hobnob, so I'm scanning for spans of attention to rob. Run that. No, wait. Let's be a good sport. Don't resort to petty crimes. This ain't the end of the line. Keep trying. No time to whine. I'll just have to bounce back like there's a spring in my spine. All according to plan, so it's fine. The fact I'm not alone in this provides comfort to my mind, because I know I'm not the only one seeing the vicious cycle of the CV. The steady decay of curriculum vitae is why its purpose escapes me. Convert me to CV.
Well, today's tip of the day, imported honeydew, this is what you want to do. And do not compromise. You want to make sure it's got a beautiful color all the way around. It becomes nice and sticky when you rub your hands on top like that. That's when they're ready to enjoy. And then enjoy them. One of the only fruits, one of the only melon that continue to get sweeter after it's been picked.
Honeydew, 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 melanin. The king sits in his fire pit, counting blessings instead of measly amounts of money. The queen melts his heart like butter on bread, filling his loaf with seams sweet as honey. A real cutie with a clear complexion, complemented by the shade of sugar brown. Her hair rarely escapes a stranger's stare, wearing it proudly like a sun-glared crown. Lips that softly speak as her tongue conducts symphonies to make knees weak. She serenades all six senses with words striking the right nerves like verbal heat seek. That fine figure is an eyeful of candy, and she happens to be completely, visually delicious. Her nurturing nature never ceases to ease me like soul soup that's spiritually nutritious. Do I sound like a honey nut? Who am I fooling? Cheerio to attempts at making sense. Can't help but pay attention to her every expression. Checking her out is worth any expense. Sparkly eyes that capture my concentration like clear waters as I inspect my reflection. There are windows into her soul laid bare due to diffused defenses to welcome my protection. I see a war-torn soldier scorned and battered by back-to-back battles that would leave your reality rattled. Her life stories could create messages to give the helpless hope if she chooses that tale to be told. Her character carries class with diligence towards her dignified demeanor. No mistake was made coronating this queen. Bolstered with a below-surface beauty not casually dispensed to the dense. One must be trustworthy just for a glimpse to be seen. Found in her are rare qualities widely supplied in short quantities, like straws in a needle stack or laugh tracks for something funny. This uplifting gift holds more value in the king's heart than any amount of silver, gold, or fiat money. Just what the dog ordered towards my sick self. Felt the spark put a power pack in my back like the Duracell bunny. The rosy remedy prescribed to my sour life. She stirs my soul cup filled with citrus liquid with a spoonful of honey. Whenever I feel voracious for a spacious amount of time filled with vibes I can mellow in, there's no debate that I vacate to happy places for a nice slice of his honeydew melanin. Honeydew melanin.
Spoken word is coming out of the shadows into the main stage with a whole new energy.
Along with a big round of applause from all your friends. Snap your fingers. It's classier than clapping for keeping rhythm. And you never know when it'll come in handy.
Brup, brup. The only gat you want to hear clap back. A weapon of positivity, no license needed for this strap. Appreciation is the ammo, in the chamber is where it sits, ready to spread love lead across the scene when it hits. Biology is the barrel used to blast the bullet. Index and middle digits combined, looking like a carbine, all set. Support is the scope that reaches any distance. Keep your eyes on the prize and a shoulder whip stance. Together, we are the trigger as we aim towards the target. The recipient that sent this rain of ratings will never forget. As we let the ting sing and ring out, all you'll hear are screams and shouts, but not from the sticks in a trap star's John Wick rap. Though you'll still hear something like a thunder clap clap on the subject of that which sounds like lightning. A high caliber round of applause can rifle through the air without a care, giving dark rooms a brightening. Launchpad palms shoot rockets at the target who's standing stage side. Best to embrace it. They'll find where the detractors in the crowd reside with nowhere to hide. Exposing haters to the public like movie script leakers and causes major vibrations like festival speakers. It remains a classic display of support as aborted self-doubt rebounds off the sound with no further retort. The hands on the clock continue to tick-tock, so I'll try to keep this next demo short. Snap, snap, the poetry scene really likes that. In fact, let's elaborate for those not hip. Happens when the digit that helps us grip contacts the column in the middle and lets rip, causing escalation to situations like a natural silencer. The impact won't take a dip. A low-key way of locking off the place, unlike the previous weapons that sound like a cracked whip. It revolves around, lacking in sound, so word surgeons can perform an open mic up. That's when those hammers come in handy, so fire when you can hear a pin drop. Used to gas up griots who gather thoughts together to transfer transmissions telephonically to masses using mobile tongue devices. Audiences receive the messages with every cell in their shell, expanding galaxy-sized soul systems as the bar rises like smart device prices. Whether you choose to brap, clap or snap, just remember this. Your helping hands are an arsenal that uphold and embolden your favourite artists, filling them with bliss.
See what clicks? Monster mix. Love this. Get the grits.
There's no Pik N Mixed like
Verbiage groovy like a syllable smoothie, serving desserts filled with words sweet as pie. Sweet. Delivering delicious moods so swinging they'll give you wings to flutter like a butterfly. Fly. No Red Bull or Bud lightens loads like vibes bearing fruit to shoot you sky high. Sky high. God's enemies work overtime to ensure this stacked match attacks while I play without a team. The ops are 7 up already. Yep. On the ropes, coping by balling out in hopes that even Dr. Pep sees potential in me as I grow at a pace that's steady, real steady. I remember school days in my early youth, under a grey sky playing duck, duck, goose, duck, duck. Nothing really changes, we just decide on which problems to run from, whether financial, social or emotional. You choose them. Booze works too if you want to get loose from burdens that appear to overbear. I personally drink Copperbergs in reasonable bursts and fantasize so the bad days seem rare. To fight failure fears, you gotta visualize your victory, like a sat-nav is steering you there. Turn right. Nowhere near, but my quasi-clairvoyance shows me the future to be, but only if I hustle with a drive to make competition compare. Make 'em. Why yank chains when I link together bars far harder than any generic gang garbage? Facts. I pull you in like a kicking snare. You can find peace in your purpose, while nihilism nullifies one's neuron activation. Don't leave yourself in a decrepit deficit while holding on to the edge in desperation. Mental health matters. Don't leave it in tatters. Search for solutions by starting conversations. Start them. It's mad liberation. A force strong enough to free a nation. Bullets and chambers are not the winning combination. But keep strapped as the world goes berserk with stakes escalating. Any man can pack Big Macs to increase fear perks. It's no hitch to switch gears without the stick, aiming my ballistic and notepads to sting chickens with zingers and cook jerks. Cook them. I'm sick with structured story stanzas, slick as Rick, rocking metal fingers to serve dope hits that muck. When people hear my pieces play, it hits bloodstreams while no jab is needed, making them say to Jay's delivery, cause I put in the work. Facts. Hungry hippo haters can keep chewing on airballs until their midsection is a-hole, sprinkling empty words that skr in a donut. The stuff said is crusty, so cutting through that stale bread talk to share deep pan stanzas is a must in my Pizza Hut. Papa John's got the sauce to keep rolling until the dominoes fall. No topping this, cause I can't let windows drive by or abruptly shut. Facts. A static heart racer on tracks like Skate Electrics. A gallant glitch to this goofy gay matrix. A straight shooter at high rates, scoring magic hat tricks. A southpaw hitmaker in the making with mitts like Hendrix. I had a head full of textured tomes that needed a new home, so I made schematics for a quick fix. These words insulate like wool worth the weight, so I combed through scripts and picked out the sweets, treating you to this renewed 5-star mix.
When you want to try a little bit, wake up the top. Why don't you try Pik N Mixed? It'll hit the spot. Great value, great taste, great variety. Now all you got to do is pick the mix that's right for you.
You get bite-sized versions of all your favorite bars. And you can have as many as you like in all kinds of combinations in the same bag. Pik N Mix.